Good morning, guys. MWUSA, Season 3, Episode 131. I recorded Episode 130 this morning just to kind of update you on the end of my trip and my trip home from Alaska. And today is Monday. It's Monday morning. And I went to the office early, and I was feeling kind of stuffy this morning. I don't know if I got something from the airport or if it's a 24-hour thing or what the deal is. But I was concerned that this week is going to get kind of blown apart because we have July 4th on Thursday. And so I'll probably have to be at home for that. And I was planning on doing a Wednesday night, Thursday all day type of deal. And that kind of got killed because I can't be away from home on July 4th. And so the plan was Monday, Tuesday, part-time, and then Wednesday, a long day, get home early Thursday morning, like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then spend Thursday at home and Friday traveling. Well, things have changed now. It's about 3 hours later. And when I got to the office and I had a meeting with my boss and the director, they all said, "What are you doing here? You're stuffed up. Go home." And my whole thing was, if I take a week vacation and then don't show up on Monday, that means you're probably avoiding work. And I didn't want to be that guy. But they said, "Go home. We don't want you here." So, of course, I'm not going home. So right now I am heading off to the first casino of the day. And we're going to try to get a little bit of slot play in, see how that goes. And then I'm considering, I've got 2 meetings this afternoon back to back. I'm considering doing those 2 meetings in the car, and then I haven't really decided yet. So then probably going back to the casino again, but I'm not really sure. So we'll take it one step at a time. Right now I'm heading off to my first casino. It's 11:30 a.m. and it's a nice day, 68 degrees. And I'll be back and let you know how things go. Alright guys, I am back. So I go into this place and I see a small play right off. Play that, win $3. Look around, see nothing. Look around, see a new game, which I hate. And there's no plays on it. And then I go to my bread and butter game, lately anyway. And it's been replaced. It's only been there for about a month or 2, and it's already been replaced, which really stinks because that game was good for a lot of money every week. But we'll have to find something else. So I looked around some more, found one more play way in the back, and on a machine that's been broken for a long time. The buttons have been broken, so I haven't been checking it. But since I've been gone for a week, I thought I would check it, and the machine was fixed. And I sat down, I found a play on it. I played that through. I did pretty well. I was ahead like 140 or something like that. And then it immediately kicked into another play. So I played that, and that was all I was able to get done. So between those 2 plays, I ended up ahead $183. So $183. Then I went to get some food, and they had cut my food down, but I got some chicken strips, and I didn't even eat the fries. And I'm actually working on a permanent diet with my wife, and we're going to start it probably anytime between now and the next month or so. And try to get a little bit healthier, try to maybe lose some weight, and my numbers are all good as far as my tests, but just try to stay healthier and not eat iffy foods so much. Yeah, really, that's all that really happened in there. I could tell somebody was there earlier, but nobody was in there at the time. This place has really gone downhill. This was a place where I could make a lot of money usually, and now there's very little going on in the place. So right now I have a meeting coming up in about 17 minutes, and I'm taking care of a personal matter and then I'm going to do that meeting, which will lead into another meeting. So I'm thinking about staying around this area and then hitting the casino again afterward. But I'm not really positive yet. We'll see. It is getting kind of hot. It's 73 right now. So sitting in your car for hours is not good unless you've got the air on, and then, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to take care of a few things right now, and then I'll be back and try to hit this place again. Alright guys, I am back. So heading back to the car. I took care of some personal business, and then I had a meeting. Took care of that meeting, found out how much work I really have to do, which is ridiculous. So I'll be working on that stuff tonight, and then I've got a meeting starting in about 8 minutes. I can do that in the car, so I don't have to worry about that. And I think I'm going to head home after that and start doing some work and just get ready for later on in the week. I did, like I said, have another session, and didn't go that great. Only found a couple plays, played those through, and ended the session down $56. So minus 56 there. Not feeling great right now, but we're going to get it all worked out. Right now, I'm going to sit in the car, get ready for my next meeting, and then head toward home. Now, in this next meeting, everyone takes turns around the room talking, so hopefully I'm one of the first to talk, and then I can mute it and drive the rest of the way. So, yeah, that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So, nothing else happened yesterday. It's now the next day, Tuesday. Yesterday just got busy with work and wasn't able to do anything else. So, kind of felt like it was a wasted day. Today is Tuesday morning, and I used the excuse that they sent me home yesterday because I was stuffy to kind of roll over into today. So I sent a message this morning saying, still have a stuffy nose. Do you want me or I'm going to just stay home, and that should all be fine. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to do. And as you know, usually I have things planned out a week in advance. I know exactly where I'm going, when I'm going, what I'm doing there. But of course, right now, I didn't know. And when I got ready this morning, I thought I was going to do one thing. And then when I left home, I actually drove a different direction and did something totally different. So here is what I'm going to do. It's a little insane, but I'm going to head off to a region, and I should be there by 9:45 or so, and then I'm going to play in this one casino for about 20 minutes or so, and then I'm going to travel to another region that's nearby, and I'll have a meeting on the trip there, and I've got all the stuff that I need for those meetings. And once I get to that region, I will have 2 casinos at minimum that I can hit. I'll only have 2 hours to hit those. And then I will have 3 meetings back to back in the parking garage. Then I'll have, I think, a half-hour break, and then 1 meeting. So the plan is to go to the first casino, have a meeting on the way to the second and third casino, and then 3 meetings on the way to the fourth casino, and then go in there for a half hour and a meeting after that on the way home. So that'll give me an opportunity to play blackjack twice and play slots twice. I will have a total play time of up to 3.25 hours and a total drive time of 7.5 hours. So that's the best that I can do today. I did get some work done last night, stuff that I was supposed to do over the next week or so. That puts me ahead, and I'm going to put some meetings on the calendar for Monday and Tuesday to review that work. And then I have other work that I was supposed to catch up on. I will do that tonight when I get home, and from there it'll be back to the work I'm supposed to have been doing all along, and I will get caught up on that by the end of the week. Tomorrow is still going to be a longer day, and I'm thinking about being out until about 8 a.m. and then heading home, and that way I'll have July 4th with the family starting at noon, and I'll get some kind of opportunity to make some money this week. So that's what's going on right now. I was on the phone with a friend yesterday a couple times, and he told me, "Joe, you sound awful." And I said, "Thanks a lot." So I think I sound worse than I feel. I'm feeling pretty good. Just have a little bit of stuffiness. So anyway, that's what's happening today. It's very ambitious, but I think we can do it. I'm going to try to get all my preparation done for all those different things on my drive to my first casino, and I'll actually get my computer turned on here at 8 o'clock and look like I'm working from home, but at my computer. So anyway, letting you go, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So, man, what a pain. So I go into this place. Before I go into this place, I get a request for a meeting that they want to make an hour-long meeting just as I would be getting to this casino. So I go into my calendar, I add some other meetings to make it appear like I have other meetings set up, so I can't attend that meeting, and I just don't reply to that. So what they did was I left some like half-hour spots open. They weaseled their way into one of these half-hour openings on my calendar and stuffed it in there, and by the time I got back to the car, we were 5 minutes into another meeting that they had set up instead. So I hopped on that meeting, and then I started that in the parking lot of the casino, and then I was presenting, but I had to move on, or my whole day is dead. I would just have to turn around and go home. So as I was driving, I was presenting, and I had the headset on, and I was basically running that meeting. So once the time ended on that meeting, I had to start another meeting, and I was the first one to speak in that one. So as I was driving, I did my presentation on that one. Finally just finished that meeting, and I'm continuing on my trip here, but that's, what are you gonna do? Right now it looks like I'm about 10 miles away from my next stop, so I'm going to be about 15 minutes later than I wanted to be. I can't really give you many details, but I can tell you there's been some things going on at this casino that have been pretty bad, things that they're doing to players and causing players to do. We'll just leave it at that. So, I think casinos should be criminally liable when they know that someone is hurting financially, that they can't afford something, and they continue to send them offers, especially when that person tells them, "Hey, I can't come in here anymore, I can't afford it," and they keep sending them offers and allowing them to come back in and honoring those offers. So I'll just leave it at that. My first stop, I went in and I left my cell phone in the car, so I didn't even know what time it was or that they set up that other meeting. But I figured, I'm going to be in and out in 20 or 30 minutes anyway. So I went in, looked around, found nothing, then found one machine, sit down and start playing that. And the the neighborhood borrower, I look over and he's standing right there. So he's like, "Hey, how you doing, Joe?" I'm like, "Not good." You always have to tell him you're doing not good and that you don't have any money, so he'll leave you alone. But I played that one through and ended ahead 97. Started walking through the rest of the casino and realized that someone had been there all night and played everything down to down to nothing. So there wasn't really much opportunity other than that. The first machine that I played was actually something that must have happened recently within the last half hour. So I was able to play that through and ended my session ahead $97. So plus $97. I get back to the car, I do the 2 meetings, I'm continuing on, and then I get a message from the director. And there is a vulnerability that is a giant problem if it exists in your environment. And I was asked if we had that in our environment. And I run the vulnerability testing. And like I said before, there's millions of tickets in here. So it's hard to keep up with every little thing that's in there every minute. But it turns out the last scan did find instances of this vulnerability. So the director wanted to know if we had it, so I sent that information over. And I'm sure I'm going to get a huge influx of messages and meetings now to discuss this, which is the last thing I need right now, because I was supposed to have up to 2 hours to gamble here, and right now it's already down to 1 hour and 45 minutes due to timing, and I really don't want to have to get sucked into those meetings. So luckily my calendar looks pretty full, so I don't know if they'll try to set it up for another day or just ask me for more details just through email, but I have to keep an eye on what's going on as I'm playing. So the situation at hand, I will be going into the first casino playing blackjack, a couple slots, moving on to the next casino playing blackjack, jack, and a couple slots, and then we'll look at timing, and most likely I'll be out of time and have to start heading toward home to a 4th casino, and in the meantime have 3 half-hour meetings on that journey, and then I'll have a half hour in that casino. So that's what's going on right now, and I'm going to let you go and hopefully make a little bit of money, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So I go into the next casino and I look at slots, they're all cleaned out. Go to play blackjack, and they said, "What are you doing here on this day?" It's like they know, days that I don't come to this area. And I said, "Oh man, problems at work," and all these excuses and stuff. And I said, "What's worse is I walk in here and I lose money." And of course, always setting them up for you being a degenerate and them looking down on you, and them thinking like you're everybody else. And sat down and started playing, and had a decent shoe right away, and left at the end of that shoe. And actually someone was sitting down also, so that's fine, and ended that session ahead $1,000. So plus exactly 1,000 on that. Then while I was in there, I got some messages from work about a server they needed looked at and all this stuff. So I said, "Yeah, sure, give me the information," and they haven't given it to me yet. But I already know the information, so by the time they get it back to me, I would have parked at the next casino, looked it up, and I will send it to them right away as soon as they send me the information I asked for. And the reason I did that is I wasn't done in the casino, and I needed some time, and this puts the next move on them, which buys me time to do what I need to do. So anyway, looked at slots on the way out, found nothing still, and I'm just going to move on right now. So right now I'm about 12 minutes ahead of schedule, maybe more, and looking good so far. So we'll see what happens here at the next spot. Going to be playing some blackjack, and definitely be playing a few slots at this place, and hopefully I can get in and out of there in an hour and a half or so, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I'm heading to the car with only a few minutes to spare here. I go in, I look at slots, I find a couple tiny things, win like $50, go and play blackjack, and buy in for 500, spreading from 50 to 500, rebuy right away, and then a couple big double downs and splits put me way down. I was down like 2,300 at that point, at my low point. Actually, I was down 2,000 I was down 2,300, and then I switched tables. I had like a running -7 with like a third of the shoe to go, and it's like, I gotta fight the negative and get it to a positive before I can raise to try to win this money back. I'm trying to get to the car in time for my meetings, so it didn't make a lot of sense for me to stay at that table. So I ended up standing up, walking away, going to another table, sat down there. First hand I get a blackjack, second hand I lose, then I start losing again, but slowly things start turning around, and eventually I end up leaving the table ahead $300. And at this point I've got like 10 minutes to go. There's something wrong with their till. It's got too many $100 chips, so they end up telling me to take all of them to the cashier. So I've got like 2,800 and $100 chips. I end up going to the poker cashier instead. I figured I'd get less questions about it there, so I did that, and I ended up cashing out there, no issues. And then looked at a few slots on my way out, and found very little, and ended up leaving ahead 72 on the slots. So plus 300 on the blackjack on a very up and down session, and then plus 72 on the slots. Right now I'm not feeling great, but I'm okay. I'm feeling a little warm. It might be that I ran through the casino here, but I think everything is going to be okay as far as timing. I got about 2 minutes left before my meeting starts. At this point, the problem is I've got stacks of meetings, so I have no choice but to start heading toward home and toward one casino, and then we'll figure things out from there. I got 3 meetings back to back to back, and then a half-hour break and 1 meeting. So I'm going to be doing these 3 meetings, and then I'll go into the next casino and let you know how things go. So I'm going to let you go right now, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So I know it's been a long, hectic day, and it's been hard for me to record a lot of it, just because I've been running from one thing to another, one meeting to another. But let me expand a little bit here on what just happened at this casino. I did take care of 2 meetings on my way up to this casino. There was the 3rd meeting, and that was with my manager, and I looked at his schedule and it was packed, and I said, I know your schedule and my schedule are both really busy today. Would you mind if we skip the meeting? I don't have anything to talk about. And he said, oh, I'm so happy you said that, because things have been so busy that that would really help me a lot. So I said, okay, sounds good. So I actually had a full hour at this casino if I needed it. Turns out I needed about 35 or 37 minutes, so it's a good thing I canceled that meeting, because I wouldn't have had enough time. So I walk in, looking around. First machine, nothing. Second machine, which rarely has anything, has a nice play on it. I sit down, $3 a spin, boom, boom, boom. 6 spins, hit for like $150 profit on that one. So I'm happy. I'm moving on. Looking around, nothing. Looking around, nothing. I see another play, and I'm like, no, that's not a play. And then I go back and I look at it again, and some of you just have to do some math in order to know. So, for example, must-hit buys, sometimes it's close, so you have to do some math. So in this case, this one was in range. It was where it needed to be, so I decided to sit down and play that one. It was at around $2 a spin. Played that one through. Only took me like, whatever, 70, 80 spins on that one to hit it. And that one hit for a profit just on that machine of about $450 or so. So all that was good. I'm walking around, see a couple small plays here and there. And then there were a few machines I couldn't check because people were on them. I did check them on my way out. Found a couple tiny plays, +2, -2 or 3, something like that. And ended up leaving the session ahead $645. So incredible. I mean, what a great start to the week. I think we're up like 2,600 for the day. We were only up about 100 yesterday, so we're definitely way ahead of schedule, since normally Tuesday I would be in the office, and tomorrow is Wednesday. It's a day I don't have to work, so tomorrow will be a long drive, and we're going to make some money tomorrow. Next Wednesday, I'm considering a drive that would be 6 hours each direction, and if that one works out with what I'm working on, I may end up taking that trip more often, maybe as often as a couple times a week temporarily. So we'll see how that goes. I did get some food before I left. I only had like $5 in free food for the week, but I do have like $800 in free food overall. So I did get 1 slice of pizza instead of 2, but I got a turkey sandwich as well. So I'm trying to balance things out a little bit here, guys. I'm going to get better and better. In the next month, you're going to see a big change, I hope, and keep our health as a top priority. So we're definitely getting enough walking in. Probably need to do some weightlifting that I don't do right now. And other than like weightlifting a big, sub or something like that. Got that food, and I'm heading out. I do have another meeting coming up in 25 minutes. I have 28 miles worth of gas left, so we're gonna go ahead and find a place to get gas. I'm gonna eat this sandwich and then find a place to get gas, watch some YouTube videos. Daniel Negreanu, finally, another bracelet. It's been over 6,000 days since he had a new bracelet, and he's at bracelet number 7, and that was nice. I watched all the highlights of that on his vlog, and I've been watching Ryan DePaulo. He's just hilarious, and some others as well. So what else is going on? I guess that's it right now. So let me let you go, and I'll be back to update you shortly. Alright guys, I am back. So finished up my last meeting and continuing my trip right now, and I want to go back to the 2 blackjack sessions I had earlier, and just wanted to say the second blackjack session that I had was like a flatline session. I mean, it wasn't until the very, very end when things started going well. I had like 45 minutes to an hour to play blackjack at that place, and I thought that would be enough. I'm usually in and out in a reasonable amount of time, especially at this place. I don't know why. You have places that seem to work better than others. I definitely have some casinos it seems like I can never beat anymore, but so when I got there, I immediately went down. I won the first hand, then I immediately went down and just flatlined for the longest time. And it wasn't until the last 10 or 12 hands that things started happening. At first I was going the right direction, and then dropped back down, and going the right direction, drop back down. And then I had a max bet, which was a $500 hand, and I had a 2-9 for an 11 against a dealer 10, and I doubled down for 500 and got an 8 for a 19. And we're talking about a true 5, true 6, somewhere in there. So it wasn't looking good. I mean, the dealer definitely didn't have an ace, so that left 10 Jack, Queen, King, right? And it was a true, let's say, 5 or 6. So it looked like the dealer was going to have a 20 and I was going to lose, but I ended up winning that hand, and that was the end of the shoe, and I ended up ahead $300. but it kind of, I feel like I made it sound like things were really good at the end, and they weren't. They were really choppy, and it was one big hand that was a big turnaround and got me out of there in time, and eventually got me to the car with only a couple minutes to spare. So at this point, I finished this meeting that I had, and I didn't realize the director was going to be in it, but I owe the director some stuff, and right now I'm still driving. I still have a lot of work to do for the day, and I'll be doing a lot of work tonight, but moving in the right direction. It was a good day. I want to talk about tipping. So what did you tip, MW? So I want to go back to the cruise first and then back to today. On the cruise, in the casino, I tipped $0. That includes that hand that was a $5,800 swing. I tipped nothing. And that can easily be done, especially if you're not going back to that place for a long time. They're not going to remember you just by acting like, oh, I can't believe I won. This is so great. High-fiving people and stuff like that. And you're going to get the heck out of there. I mean, they're happy for you that you won. I mean, some of them are jerks, but most of them are going to be happy that you had a good session. And they're going to think, oh, he forgot to tip me. What am I going to tip them that's going to make them happy? Tell me what is going to satisfy them. So I'm spreading 100 to 500 the whole time, except for the last hand. And I'm losing the whole time, except for the last hand. And I just won. I had a $5,800 swing. So what do you tip them? You're going to tip them 10%? $500? 3%? Okay, 3%. 3% of almost $6,000 is $180. You're really going to tip them $180? And they're going to say, $180? You only tip me 3% of all that? You're going to tip them a quarter? You tip me a quarter for a $5,800 swing? So you're better off not tipping at all. So I tipped $0. Now, I did tip twice on that trip, and both of them were to cab drivers. One in Victoria, Canada, where we went from potentially paying 210 Canadian dollars down to 15 Canadian dollars to get to the city. And I did tip that guy 2 American dollars. So I paid him in Canadian money and then tipped him 2 American dollars on a $15 Canadian. So that's like 10% about. And then in Seattle, where we couldn't wait to get out of that zone of terribleness and darkness that was surrounding us, it seemed like. The cab drive ride was $45, and he just kept it off the meter. And he was good, he was fast, and got us to the airport. He was pleasant. I did tip him $5, and that's like 1% of AV, because just getting out of there was so valuable to me that $5 was fine. So that was it. I tipped a total of $7 on that cruise. We did not have a butler this time, so I didn't have to worry about tipping them or anything like that. Now today, 2 blackjack sessions, 2 slot sessions, or 3 slot sessions. I tipped a total of $0. So now it's been, a week and a half, not a single dollar to a casino member at all. And in that week and a half, I've made, $6,000? Why do I have to tip them? I mean, there's very small situations, but if they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, they don't. And I give them small gestures with $2.50 or $5 with betting side bets and saying, hey, this side bet's for the both of us, and things like that. But I don't think that anything else is required. So, all right. So right now, I'm going to head home. Tomorrow, long day, long night, long morning. So it's going to be about a 30-hour day tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get a room or not. I don't know if I'll be able to get a room or not with July 4th. So it looks like it's going to be sitting in my car. Yeah, everything should be fine. Right now it's 84 degrees heading home, partly cloudy skies, the sun is out, it's beautiful. Gonna go home, spend time with the family, get good sleep tonight for a long day tomorrow. So if you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.